pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly.
Back in the grave with you, sir. No zombies allowed. We're not that kind of game.
Alright, time to get that Luffy gif of him just seeing the zombie and just going, there. No. You go back in there.
I'm glad we were thinking of the same thing. In many ways, Genshin Asogi was leaving an impact in society.
Oh my god! Banned. You're just banned. Just banned. Get out of here.
I've been targeted several times before already.
Yep, those ones like alright, we got 'em!
Yes, for some reason the crooks back then sounded like cartoons, but anyway.
Welcome back, everybody. This is KBTV Under the Sun, and we're here continuing on to the second part of the investigation of the fourth case of the second game. Apparently, there was a favor that Mikatoba mentioned, and I don't know.
I trust you have not forgotten about this.
I don't.
You remember the favor. I know it's been an entire week, but I trust you haven't forgotten.
Oh.
I remember. I'm just not going to tell you what it is.
Oh no! You did mention something, didn't you?
But first, we have to do something real important, Father.
Of course. Shall we take tea while we discuss matters further?
Tea. Huh. I wonder where Judge Jigoku has got to. I thought the game froze for a moment, and I'm like, huh?
Well, I thought it was going to transition to a scene where they were having tea.
Look at this, Professor Mikatoba.
Ah, Kazuma's armband. He was wearing that when he left for Great Britain. How curious. It doesn't strike me at all as odd to see you wearing it. It rather suits you.
Oh.
Are you intending to return it to him?
Well, yes. I mean, it has his name on it. Now that we found out he's alive, it doesn't make sense for me to keep it.
Well, if you ask me. I think Kazuma would be delighted to see you wearing it.
Well, I'd feel honored if that were true. I think it's true.
God, just kiss!
Mr. Naruhodo, you already presented that to my father, and it was very nice of him to give you the exact same exchange of dialogue that he did last time, too.
I don't remember this dialogue at all.
I trust you have not forgotten that we've had this exchange before.
Also, Mr. Naruhodo, you're not actually wearing the armband right now.
It's there! You just can't see it, but it's there.
Father, do you know about the so-called Reaper of the Berry?
I've heard rumors. Some members of the judiciary explained it all to me yesterday. Of course, when I was a visiting student here in London, the Reaper was yet to emerge.
Right. He didn't appear until after that case, when the visiting students had already returned home.
Lord Van Seeks, who was in the dock today. That was Baroque, the younger brother of Clint Van Seeks, I believe.
That's right. And he's known throughout London as the Reaper, as you've heard. But the truth is, it wasn't him behind all those mysterious deaths. It was somebody else.
I see. So what you're saying is there's been a professional killer at work here.
Exactly. Someone by the name of Asashin, in fact.
Wow, that's not even subtle, is it? I beg your pardon? Did you say Asashin? You mean that Giselle Brett woman who was responsible for killing my great friend?
Oh no! A friend of yours was killed! Professor Mikatoba, I think perhaps we shouldn't discuss this right now. Because the friend the professor is talking about is Dr. John H. Wilson.
We know, Rinosuke, you refuse to talk to the 10-year-old about their dead dad. We know. We know.
And that's not something we want Iris to find out about. Not like this, anyway.
Okay, so
And yet...
two quick things.
Uh,
A, we were in a closed trial. Should we be sharing this information publicly? B, he said he was going to attend the closed trial. How does he not know this already?
the Asashin?
Yes.
Asashin wasn't brought up in the closed trial.
Okay, never mind.
It was brought up in the prison cell.
We
Well,
have
he
definitely
should've
all
filed for the
we have
prison.
definitely all forgotten.
Ah, I've just remembered something.
Well, that makes one of us.
Biscuits. This hotel has the most delicious looking biscuits.
That was rather out of the blue.
Yes. Like your suit, father.
Ah, yes, my suit is blue. Thank you for noticing.
She's doing this deliberately.
I think I'll go see if I can purchase some. I wonder, would you like to come too, Iris?
Oh, yes! You just try to leave me behind.
So that young girl is called Iris Wilson, is she?
Yeah, that's right.
And she's the author of all those adventure stories starring the great Detective Sholmes? But the name of the credited author isn't Iris, is it? It's Dr. John H. Wilson.
Yeah, I know. That's the name of her father, you see?
Her father? Dr. John H. Wilson. I'm connecting the dots. I was deeply indebted to the man for all the kindness he showed me during my time in London. That's why I was keen to reciprocate and invite him to the Imperial Yume University 4 years ago.
But he was murdered last year by Giselle Brett. Why? Why would the hand of the Reaper stretch all the way to Japan? Iris knows nothing about that case, but it seems very likely that the victim, Dr. Wilson, was her father.
Well, I can't say that we ever spoke about his family, so I don't know if he had a daughter or not. But I think I can say with some certainty that he was never the great detective's partner.
Oh? So, it could have been another Dr. Wilson, you think?
Well, John and Wilson are both common names, after all. Still, it's probably best not to mention this to the young lady until we can be sure.
That's what we thought, yes.
We're back! With cinnamon biscuits!
Ooh, they smell delicious, Iris.
I think cinnamon will go very well with the tea they serve here. Don't you, Susie?
Yes, I'm sure you're right, Iris.
I haven't seen Judge Goku for a while. Have you?
Guilty.
But that guilty is still ringing in my ears.
What a great flashback there.
Rinosuke, it sounds like you have a guilty conscience, but that's just me, I believe. No, now you mention it, I haven't seen him since this morning either. I suppose since the symposium's opening was postponed, he'll have gone to explore at the Great Exhibition.
That reminds me of something you mentioned yesterday. About Judge Shikoku having once been in the dock himself?
Ah, yes. It was all tied up with that accursed trial.
The closed trial of Kazuma's father.
Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand.
Oh my!
He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged.
Oh dear. Although it's worryingly easy to imagine him doing that.
Well, it was all right in the end. He was acquitted, and we returned home to Japan together.
Thank goodness!
Ah, yes. Talking of Seishiro. I have a copy of the photograph we all took together here yesterday. Please.
Oh, what a lovely picture of outfits we definitely weren't wearing yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo.
Certainly seems to shout, we've arrived in Britain.
Oh God, who was the
Commemorative photograph. A photograph taken in the foyer of the Great Waterloo Hotel on the morning of Professor Mikatoba and Judge Jigoku's arrival in London for the symposium. Is that gonna actually come in handy later?
No, it's just a commemorative photo.
Oh no! This is Ace Attorney. I don't trust that. None of us had any idea what was coming when we took that, did we?
No, that's so true.
Oh yeah, the thing that we forgot about.
So, you mentioned a favor that you'd like to ask me.
Oh, of course. You haven't forgotten, have you?
Don't forget DL6?
Well, this fateful trial that you're fighting. One way or another, it will be over before long. And when it is, I'd like you to accompany me back. I'd like you to accompany me back to Japan.
You want me to do...
What?
Father, what's the meaning of this?
Now, Susato, you should understand. You've seen how our courts work firsthand. Japan's judicial system is in its infancy, especially when it comes to defense.
Oh, you mean...
The Supreme Court of Judicature is in Judicature.
Isn't that such a fun word to say?
You pretty much
so
had it, Lewis,
great.
in your first pronunciation, so just go for it.
I know, but like, it always trips me up. Judicature. The Supreme Court of Judicature is in desperate need of a good defense lawyer. As soon as possible. Really quite urgently, in fact.
But I've not even been in London a year yet.
I've read all of Susato's reports. I'm well aware of your extraordinary talents. And having seen you in action with my own eyes earlier today, there's no question. You, Naruhodo, are precisely the man our country needs.
So, you'll be leaving soon, you know?
I mean, I guess the bar was already set kind of low, all things considered, but...
And then, what am I supposed to do, Father?
You came here to serve as Asogi. Is it Asogi or Asogi?
Yeah, it's a sogi.
No, like...
Did you get a assassin stuck in your head so you were about to say Asagi or something?
No, so here's the thing. So when it comes to Japanese, my first instinct is to put the syllable on the second word with like 3-syllable words like Ozaru or like, but like then I remember that it's supposed to be Ozaru, and like I was a fan of like Buso Renkin. So, but the English dub of Buso Renkin is kind of like not great, and instead of saying Kazuki, they say Kazuki.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I always think of those things when it comes to 3-syllable words. So when I hear, like, Asogi, immediately my brain's like, you're doing it wrong. It has to be Asagi or something.
Well, I mean, if it has with the Japanese phonetics and stuff, the sounds never change. Like how, in English, the sounds of, like, certain letters will change depending on the word. Like tomato, tomato, or some shit.
Yeah.
But with Japanese, the sounds are for each word, not word.
For each syllable, yeah.
Each syllable is going to always be the same. Like A is always going to sound like ah, so is always so, and then gi is always gi. Basically, it's never going to change.
Also, we've said Asogi's name like how many times during this playthrough?
I know, but like now that like I think is this the first time I've said Asogi?
No, you said it definitely
this can't be
before
it.
because yeah.
Yeah, you played Baroque. He's been talking about him quite a bit, actually.
All right. In that case, I'm just stupid. Let's
It's
go!
fine.
You came here to serve as Asogi's judicial assistant.
Oh yeah, she's supposed to be Kazuma's assistant.
Yeah, you all forgot that, didn't you?
It's been several cases and 2 games.
Our government is still in the process of deciding how best to deal with this situation, though.
Well, in fairness, Father, you also had me come back home from Japan to then impersonate Mr. Naruhodo here and also be a defense lawyer. So, I mean, which is it? Am I Kazuma's assistant? Am I Mr. Naruhodo's assistant? Am I your personal lawyer that's going to impersonate people just because you want me to?
You will perform your job duties as assigned.
Father, I'm 16.
You will perform job duties as assigned.
Okay, you know what?
That is
Screw
what we
this.
tell HR so that we can change the job duties anytime we want.
Well, that's not very fair because that sounds like I'm going to have a lot of work later that's not going to be very helpful on me and more people working on this position.
Yeah, it's not very fair, is it? I'm looking at you. This is a thing that actually happens. Anyway.
I'm aware. That's why I
There
brought
seems to be
up.
a lot of underlying issues happening here. Randall's just standing here watching them yell at each other like, what is happening?
Fun fact, some job applications will put in job duties and other job duties as assigned. No. Which is just... no.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. You've always chosen your own path, Sasato. And I trust your judgment. In this matter also.
Father? So, wait, does that mean I'm going to still be his assistant? Am I going to be Kazuma's sister? We did
That's your
decide that part.
choice. That's your
Other
choice.
job duties as assigned.
Okay, I'm going to stay in here in London and help Iris write the rest of the great Herdex Holmes books.
Please, the pair of you. Don't look so downcast. It's merely a suggestion, you understand. A hope, if I'm honest. But I won't force you. All I ask is that you consider it, and come to a decision by the time this trial concludes.
Yeah. Alright.
You won't leave, will you, Bruno?
Yeah, let's just dump this whole thing in the middle of a trial. It's fine. The thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Up until now, I've just been trying to do what I believe to be Kazuma's will. But it turns out that he's still alive, so... where does that leave me?
We're in desperate need of this, like super desperate, like please do it. But also I won't force you.
No pressure.
I need you to do this, but only if you wanna. But we really need it, but don't feel forced.
You're starting to sound like my old workplace. Anyway.
Oh, God.
Other job duties as assigned. Well, if you'll excuse me now. I need to telegram government ministers and the Japanese police with this information about Asashin.
Of course, Father. Thank you.
I look forward to next month's installment, Miss Wilson.
Oh, good. And please do come to Baker Street sometime, won't you? We'd love to entertain you.
Why'd you pull out a gun for that?
I know, right? I'm like, what kind of entertainment here?
We'd love to entertain you, cocksgun. I would be delighted.
Could've
Yeah,
said.
he's down for anything, man.
Best of luck tomorrow, Naruhodo. And give my suggestion your full consideration, won't you?
Yeah, I will. Going back home?
Don't let it distract you from the trial, though, but give it full consideration.
You know, Kazuma-sama has always meant a great deal to my father. I'm sure he'd love the chance to meet with him and talk to him about all of this.
Yeah, no doubt. This is final.
Asashin. Of course, it's so obvious.
Hi.
How could I have neglected to consider the possibility before now?
You know,
How
the
long
best
have
part
you been
is...
here?
The best part is that I didn't know if that was gonna be... I thought that was Kazuma at first.
Yes, same here.
And then you just so easily went into the Shom's voice, and I'm like, wow, I actually, you know, now that I think about it.
Hey man, he was a very good wax figure. He's very good at impersonations.
Mr. Shomes.
Hurley! Where have you been?
He was Spider-Manning in the wall.
Pretty much, yes. Had a nice chat with Imperfect Cell over there. He's very lonely, but he won't admit it. Why I joined you all for tea, of course. One extraordinary question.
I didn't know Sue at all.
No matter. Anyway, to more pressing concerns. Mr. Naruhodo,
Oh, yes?
I must dispatch a telegram to your country at once. It is a matter of much urgency.
To Japan, you mean?
Tell me, to whom can I entrust the task? Quickly now, who?
Why don't you do it yourself, huh?
Well... My father has now just enough to send a telegram to the Imperial Police Bureau of Japan himself.
I see. Well, you look reliable enough for a bearded fellow.
I don't think with father's sports could be considered a beard, Mr. Sholmes.
Close enough. There's not a moment to lose. Kindly, ask your trusty unshaven father to see this is sent.
I will, but what is it?
No questions at this time, if you please, Mr. Zato. All
There's
we
no
can do
time
now
to
is
explain,
pray.
just go!
All we can do is pray. But for once, my deduction is awry.
Doesn't that imply that your deductions are normally correct, Mr. Shomes? Which isn't a...
Now then,
There's no
Maybe-
time to explain. There's no time to believe that my deductions are anything but 100% correct. Let's go.
you may be surprised to learn that I am a very busy man.
Really?
Yeah, that's very surprising.
I certainly have no time to hide behind CTs and eavesdrop on other people's conversations.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what joining us for tea meant.
Mm-hmm.
I leave the sending of this in your hands then, my dear fellows.
Can we read it at least? Wait a minute, Mr. Shomes.
He just sort of ran off, didn't he? At quite a pace.
And left the unpaid bill for his tea behind, too. Oh, great.
I am not covering that for him.
So, you know, with the way that scene transitioned, and because he was like, I gotta do a telegram, it was just like, in that one moment, it was just like, wait, is Mikatoba just Shops?
Is Mikatoba what?
Is Mikatoba just Shomes in the skies?
Oh, no! That's a very convincing disguise in that case.
I must get to my father at the telegraph office at once.
And I'll run and call us a cab right up the street away.
And there was me, thinking everyone would be clamoring to pay Mr. Shomes' bill. I don't even know why Susato is running away. I mean, they are all under the same stipend. So, like, I don't know about that.
Oh, dang, that's crazy. We need more cinnamon buns.
We never got to read the thing.
Oh, right, we didn't read the thing. Did we get the thing? We never got the paper.
I think the implication is that Susato just has it and just never gave it to us.
Okay, I'm like, well, you don't have the paper, though. 2nd of November, St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3.
I feel like I've been here before.
This is yes, as explained in one of the previous videos, they use the same sets for 2 different hospitals, but two of them are done up differently, so they look different. They look slightly apart. We've been to St. Sinner's before, except it was in the previous game. We haven't been here in this game.
Right, I literally was the one that looked this up, wasn't I?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it was KV.
This is the ward where Mr. Vigil was brought, apparently.
To be frank, I'm a little worried about seeing him again.
Well, too bad, because I'm here now. Ah, the lawyer. Hello again.
Are you feeling better now, Mr. Vigil?
Really not.
Yes, thank you. Somewhat better.
I'm so sorry to have caused you to... I mean, it was because of me. If I hadn't exposed your secret and forced you to remember things, you obviously tried to forget.
The prosecutor was here until a few moments ago, too. You just missed him.
You're slipping into gossip just a little bit there, sir.
I have been all out of sorts, so don't.
Uh-huh. Oh! Kazuma beat us to it.
He said much the same as you. He was very apologetic. But the truth is, I brought all of this upon myself.
Please, don't think like that.
Keeping it from Evie, my wife! All these years, I've carried such a sense of guilt. But that's not the worst of it. Over time, I obviously came to deceive myself as well.
And you're doing it now.
You mean about your dismissal?
Looking back now, I'm beginning to think that perhaps Inspector Gregson didn't stumble across me by accident at all. I mean, he compensated me so generously for acting as a stand-in. He was clearly concerned for my well-being and doing what he could to help.
So perhaps Gregson knew exactly what had become of Mr. Vigil all along, then.
I'm sure this is just desserts for 10 years of lies and deception, but... It wasn't me that helped the professor escape 10 years ago! It wasn't me!
Sir?
I swear it! I swear it's true!
Oh, Mr. Vigil?
I'm sure you'd rather not dredge up even more from your past at this time, but... if possible...
But let's keep talking.
Yeah! Could you tell us exactly what really happened?
I want to. I need to get all of this off my chest. I just want someone to tell me what I should have done.
Well, I haven't presented the armband to this guy, that's for sure. Mr. Vigil, would you mind casting your eyes over this?
My head, it's throbbing.
You have PTSD with an armband now?
Oh no! It's too soon, Mr. Naruhodo. It's too much for him.
Okay. It's too much for me seeing him swoon like that.
What is he holding on
I'm getting
to?
motion
He is
sick
holding
looking at
on to
him.
air.
Maybe I should lay off the evidence for a while.
No, present the wig.
I'll do it in the next video if you remind me.
Inspector Gregson was obviously engaged in a special operation of some sort. He was investigating something that even Scotland Yard couldn't know about.
Details of the Reaper's marks. Yes.
It was when he had to carry out those investigations that I would take his identification and impersonate him.
You pretended to be the inspector and carried out investigations on his behalf.
Oh no, never! A common street peddler couldn't possibly carry out his own proper police investigation. All I would do is go to the specified location and make a little hoo-ha.
A little what?
Just something to leave an impression, so everyone there would think a detective called Gregson was here.
So, that's what you were doing the day prior to the incident?
Yes. He asked me to make an appearance at the park on Lime Street for the Red-Headed League event. So as usual, I flashed the inspector's identification around and was very vocal about my presence.
But then you were taken prisoner by those red-headed fraudsters.
Yes. Who is this child?
Hello, my name's Iris.
Nice to meet you. But was there a child in the court earlier?
Nope.
So
She just knows these things. I don't know either. Just carry on, man.
So you would always make a point of showing Gregson's identification and generally being loud.
That's what the inspector asked me to do, yes.
Well, that's one way of becoming a legendary detective, I suppose. Not a good one, though.
The sass.
And as you know, I suffered this bruising around my neck at their hands. But the following day they kept their word and released me.
Without returning the inspector's identification to you, however.
We had arranged to meet in the Fresno Street room at 5 that day so I could report back to the inspector. At the agreed time, that's when I heard the gunshots.
Okay. Well, we're slightly a little over now, so we're going to continue to talk about this in the next video. We'll see you all then.
The gunshot?